there's been a lot going on this week. It's been to exercise my candor. It's been a rough week, but there's a lot going on. A lot of changes.
All right,
and I think we want
to. So I want you to keep in mind, this is maxed out. I have a slider here that usually I tweak it a hair and it is loud. I haven't maxed out. I'm pretty sure if I played a YouTube video right now, I would destroy everyone's ears, and you all would sue me.
By kind of talking about some of what's happened and some of what to expect in the future. So for that, how about we pass it to Alex and let him go over some stuff?
Yeah, I think if you're watching the update show, you probably have been following along with what's been going on this week, and it's been a tough week, right? I think it's been really hard for everybody here. Losing some really good people that known, been friends with for a decade. But I don't want to spend too much time focusing on the past. I think that there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to that I want to share with people today.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really want to say to the community, if you're watching, thank you to those of you that there was kind of an outpouring of support for the people affected, and I think we all really appreciate that. Both the people that were affected and those of us that are still here, coming to work every day to do everything.
There's a lot of change on the way.
There's a lot of change on the way, and I know that when something like this happens, there's a lot of concern about who's even still there? Are there enough people to keep working on the game?
Yeah.
And we have, I think, a very aggressive, very good schedule that will hopefully address a lot of your concerns. So,
hopefully, yeah.
So I'm gonna go through that now, and I apologize. I'm looking now because I have my notes on my phone just to make sure that I don't forget to say anything, because
of course, yeah.
I am a little bit scatterbrained today. Okay, so the first thing, we've been spending since early closed alpha, or we've been reading all of your posts, we've been listening to all of your feedback, we've been watching your streams and everything. And I think what we've gathered is that given the state of the game right now, there's kind of 4 key issues facing Smite 2. There's not enough content. Specifically, there are not enough gods.
I hear that one a lot, yeah.
There's not enough quality, right? Ranging from some core gameplay feel issues to specific bugs to matchmaking. It's one that comes up a lot, right? Number 3 is that we're not moving fast enough to address these things, and you don't feel like the game's improving quickly enough. And number 4 is that we're not talking to you enough about the things that we are doing to improve the game and making you feel and believe that we are addressing these things. So today I want to talk about those 4 issues and how we're addressing those. But first I want to kind of talk about the core issue that led us to this in the first place. To sound like a broken record, Smite 2 is an alpha. We've said very publicly, this game is an alpha. There's an alpha tag on the thing, and we've expected you as the players to treat it like an alpha, but I'm not sure that we as a dev team have treated it enough like an alpha from our dev calendar perspective. And we're a team that spent a decade running a tightly tuned ship where...
Do they mean not having regular little patches and fixing alpha shit, and they're trying to is that what he's saying? Or is he talking about okay, that makes sense. They're almost too afraid everything has to be perfect all the time, so they try to stick to the normal shit, when in reality probably should fuck it up a little bit.
I would know today what's going to ship a year from now.
Yeah.
And it's all about very precise plans of exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver on a timeline.
What's up, cutie?
And I think, though, we kind of tried to we'll be more dynamic and we'll be more flexible, and we'll listen to the community, and you've seen some examples of doing that. I don't think we've gone enough in that way. I think we've been a little bit stuck in the old ways of the way we were running the game.
I could agree.
This is going to sound probably pretty silly to everybody listening, but we had a really big conversation before we went into closed alpha, where for years and years, Smite 1 has been on an every 4-week patch cycle.
Oh yeah, years.
And we were like, cool. And we're like, you know what? I think we could get to 3. I think that's so much faster. The players are going to love it if we patch every 3 weeks. And now that we've been
shit.
doing it for a little while, we're like, that's ridiculous. Like, we can't do that. We can't keep patching every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I think generally we know we need to move faster with more urgency. We need to communicate more. And going forward, we're going to be much more open about like what we're working on, but how we're addressing things and whatnot. But the one thing I want to say is that before I launch into everything else is that because we're being more open, because we're telling you more about like our early plans, I ask that you give us a little bit of grace if things change, because the further something out is, the more likely it is to change. But we want to start sharing things with you earlier so we can get your feedback and whatnot. But things will change. But the promise from me following up on that is that we're going to communicate better when things do change. So it's not like we're saying, here's the roadmap and it's immutable and this is exactly what we're going to do going forward.
Yeah.
It's here's the direction we want to move in. Do you guys agree with us?
Everyone better hear that. They're saying, here's our goals. We might not hit them. And if we're a little off, you better not be bitches about it, is what he's saying. So if you guys are out there complaining in 2 months that they miss a timeline by a week, I'm going to fucking give you shit too.
Cool, then we're going to go in that direction. If you don't, then we'll modify from there. So what exactly is changing? With enough preamble, because I can ramble for forever.
Yeah, let's get into the meat.
Okay, so there's not enough content. We have recently reworked our schedule
Pretty majorly, yeah.
pretty majorly, with the aim of, currently there are 25 games or 25 gods in Smite 2.
Yeah.
Our goal is to effectively double that roster by January. So we're hoping to get to around 50 gods by January. And there are
Hold on, that's what do we got? We got like 12 weeks, right? Is that 25 more gods in 12 weeks?
a lot of kind of the heavy hitter gods that you've told us should be there from the start on that list, like Ra.
Bro, there's no way we're saying that's too little. We were gonna have what, fucking 35 or something in January, and I think that's gonna change the game a lot. They want to drop 50. Look, man, you're not gonna get your favorite god in the game right away, but you might get your second or third favorite god in the game now, and quit your bitching.
Poseidon and Thor and Kepri and yada yada, right?
Yeah.
And so our entire dev like content team has been pivoted to working on gods. A lot of our programming and design teams have been pivoted to working on how do we make this happen. So we're going to be moving a lot faster to get more gods into the game. I want to give the little disclaimer that even though we're being more nimble, we can't just flip on a switch overnight, right? So, and there's things have to go through the pipe at different phases before we can get them into the game. So this update, there are 2 gods in it. There are Baron, Samedi, and Yemoja.
Yep.
So you're going to be, we're going to be showing you those in a minute. And then the next update will also have 2 gods. And then after that update is when you'll start seeing a faster pace of gods coming out.
Yeah.
Once we get to 50 or so, we're probably going to slow back down to like 2 or 3 every 3 weeks. It's kind of a rough cadence for you guys to keep in mind. Just because we'll be at a point where we want to do some gods that are more technically or artistically difficult for us, and we just won't be able to keep moving at that pace.
Yeah.
I would love it if we could just, get all the gods done in 6 months. That'd be great. But that's not feasible once we get through this initial.
Bro, all right, first of all, this is what you guys are asking for. All right, so I already know what's going to happen. People are going to complain that the gods aren't different enough. Well, the problem is the majority are complaining that there aren't enough of the. They just want the same gods in the game. They want to play their same fucking god. I agree. They are not going to go through and make crazy changes to every god. I think that's pretty obvious. We've already seen a bunch of gods not get it. There were never going to be reworks. There was just going to be tweaks. There's going to be less of those. That's a trade-off. You either get your favorite god in the game a little faster and shut the fuck up, or those of us who don't care about that and want crazy new shit, we just aren't going to get it right now. We'll end up getting it later. I think the big thing for like us that don't care about 1,000 gods, I think the new gods are going to be crazy because Hecate has been insane and Mordred's been insane. So I think you can at least bank on the fact that their new gods are very, very good. Aladdin, from the shit that's been data mined and stuff, he's gonna be wild. So I think I'm okay with just taking the L. We're not gonna get crazy old gods changes, but we're gonna get him in the game faster.
Push to 50. So, but our goal is to double the god roster to 50 by January. And January is an important month to us, just kind of as a little bit of context, because we kind of always see January as a new season moment for Smite and Smite 2, and a time when we ship bigger changes to, shake up Conquest and, all that kind of stuff. And there's some other bigger systems that we're kind of planning for January right now that I don't want to talk about yet. We are going to be more open about stuff, but I don't want to go into every detail on this show right now.
Yeah.
And we also have Vegas happening in January, so we're trying to make sure the game is in a really good spot for that. The other note I have on the gods that we have in the game right now is that we have 25 gods in the game right now, but a lot of our data is showing us that you're seeing the same 10 gods in every game, or 12 gods.
Because the other gods suck.
About half of the roster is really being played right now. And that's making the problem of not enough gods feel worse than it even is.
Oh my gosh,
so
that's
we
what
need
I
to
said.
do a better job of
they had to watch my
balancing and
video.
being responsive
They had
and
to watch
balancing.
my
I'm going to
video.
talk more about that in a minute.
Had to have watched my video.
There's obviously a lot of other features that
There's
we need to
no
get done by
way.
January, and I'm not going to go into all those as well right now. We're going to talk more about that stuff later. But I just want to specifically talk about gods because that is a core issue with the community that we are actively working to address. Okay, number 2, there's not enough quality. So we are, in addition to doing all these gods, we're focusing more on the quality of the game. We currently have 3 or 4 programmers, depending on the week, dedicated specifically to improving the core game quality going forward, fixing bugs and core feels issues, not adding new features. We also have a separate engineer who started this week, dedicated solely to improving the matchmaking algorithm and whatnot.
Nice.
They're not going to say it. What he's saying is now matchmaking is going to start to get implemented. Real matchmaking. Now. He's saying now they can go and tweet. It's now going to get started. So hopefully very soon the matchmaking that Max had talked about in Innocent Rabbit and is wanted for the game starts, that process probably more starts now than it has. Another month, we're probably going to see big changes. 2 months, you're probably going to see like a really heavy implementation of what they originally talked about. That's my assumption on timeline with just how fast that they do shit.
Nice.
So we should be seeing matchmaking improvements.
This isn't about getting your hopes up, bro. This is not getting your hopes up. They're telling you, hey, we didn't have anybody who did this coding for us. He said that. Without saying it, he said, we didn't have them, now we do. He said, we have somebody in here now. That means they had 0 people doing it. Now they have 1 key person to do it, who I'm assuming is probably just going to work with Max, and they're going to do this shit. My assumption is they're probably like a 2-man team that is doing their shit on the, separately.
Which I'm going to talk about that in a second. But during the CA3 update, we should see especially ranked matchmaking updates that take into account SR as a matchmaking factor.
There it is. SR is not even taken into account yet. There's no matchmaking right now. They hired somebody. They got somebody. We're going to start to see matchmaking. It sucks to know that it's not where we thought it would be and where they wanted it to be. But it's also kind of nice to know that it's dog shit because it doesn't exist yet, and it's going to exist pretty soon.
The last thing I want to say specifically on quality, and I know it's kind of a light one, but it's hard to go into too much detail in that other than we understand it's an issue and we're fixing it. Specifically on gameplay feels things. There's a lot of kind of these recurring things that we hear from the community about like basic attacks don't feel good, or hitting certain abilities doesn't feel satisfying, right? And we want to hear more of that feedback about what's not good about the core game in your
Who is this guy? One of the lead devs who's been around for a very long time, forever.
experience. And we would love to get as specific of feedback as we can from you about is this something that you're experiencing only on specific gods? Is this something that you're experiencing more on higher ping or low frame rates? Is this something that you're always experiencing?
They only bring kill in when it's really serious shit. I don't know what it is. I know the last time they brought him in was announcing Smite 2, and I feel like the last time before that was when there was some rough shit going on.
But it is one of our core goals to make sure that Smite 2 feels like amazing and
everyone else
buttery
is still
smooth,
there.
and there's nothing that you can look back at and say this is just worse than Smite 1, right? It has to be better, at least as good, and hopefully better in every way.
Personable, yeah.
So,
I mean,
please.
I don't feel bad for him. I think you feel like the emotion when he talks, that like he genuinely cares, I guess, about the game. I feel like all of them do, but maybe he just puts it out better. There might be more to it as to why he's the one who speaks on this stuff. But yeah, I agree.
As much direct like feedback you can give us, like even if it's like it's not playing the just recently we realized it's not playing a certain death animation for minions. Right now every minion when they die has the same death animation, and there are several different death animations that play in Smite 1, so it makes it more satisfying to kill a wave of minions. And that's not updated in CA3. That's just something we noticed yesterday.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts.
But like any little observation like that that you have of something
I didn't even
like,
notice that.
it's just not as good, it doesn't feel as good because of this reason, please tell us. We want to hear that.
That's so like,
because we
crazy.
notice
That's
a lot of these things, a lot of them are
ever.
on our list already, but don't assume that we know everything, because like I believe we will build a better game working together.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things where you pull from the pros or from the people who have played for 5 years, the type of thing that you might not be able to think of off the top of your head, but you say, I've played on her for 300 hours, and I just know from gut feeling that when I auto attack, something isn't right. And like you might not even be able to fully explain what it is, but just saying, hey, I've played a ton of on-horse, something about his auto attack does not feel right.
On-horse.
That gives us an area to look. So that's a great area where we lean on you long-time Smite fans.
Definitely.
Anyway, yeah.
Cool. Point number 3 is that we're not moving fast enough, right? We're going to be moving faster. I think especially in an alpha, it sucks to think that you are going to be playing with the same broken balance and the same bugs for 3 weeks until we can patch again.
Yeah.
So we're currently in the process of we're currently building a new kind of sub team of the team, specifically focused on live patches, and we're expecting that several times a week. I don't want to commit to exactly how much, but several times a week, we're going to be patching the game to
I'm not doing it, bro. These are just
to do some changes to
I
balance
also had.
and to address some bugs.
Yeah.
These updates will not be as large as what we're now calling major updates, which will still happen every 3 weeks, and those are the things that'll have new gods and they'll have new new modes when we get to those, and big new systems. Because just from a development standpoint, it's better for us to be building those on kind of a separate version of the game, so that kind of like the in development stuff doesn't get into live and break things in live. But we do want to be shipping very regular balance and bug fixes, so people aren't waiting for the game to get better in the same way they have been recently. I'll say some of those.
I'm telling you right now,
those will.
That alone, I promise you guys, that alone will make playing, maybe not even every day, bro, but every couple days, it will make it so much more fun. So much fucking more fun. There's gonna be more complaining. I already know that, but it's still gonna be more fun.
Will be coming in the form of like server updates, so you won't necessarily need to download anything even to get these, but we are going to communicate better about when these come out and what has been fixed, and hopefully you'll be able to see the game getting better as we address balance and bugs during the course of a major update. Cool. Yeah, we just want to be showing you that we're constantly improving, and that we're moving better. And I think as a very early example of us being willing to move a little bit faster on things and not be stuck in this cadence that we were before, if you're trying to log into Smite 2 right now, you might notice that the servers are down. The servers are down because we are going to be releasing CA3 as soon as this show is over. So we want you guys to start playing now, so we can get feedback now, so we can start making it better now. And if there are things that we need to patch, or if there's bad bugs, or if the balance is bad or something, well, we'll try and get to that tomorrow. And if we don't get to it tomorrow, we'll get to it on Monday, right? Like we're gonna be patching very regularly to address these issues as they come up. So hopefully you guys are excited, and you are going to.
I didn't expect this fast, by the way. I did fully expect them to make some kind of change. I am surprised it is essentially what I've been preaching for the last couple weeks. Because I feel like what I've been preaching is like a little over the top to jump from where they were to where they're going. It's pretty impressive.
Have fun playing CA3 later today. Okay, last thing from my really overly long preamble. I'm sorry, I'm talking way too long. Which is kind of amusing because my next point is that we're not talking to you enough. Sorry, that was totally unplanned. So, in a alpha period like this, it's really important that it's not just enough that we're working on all these things behind the scenes and we're fixing them and we have a plan and yada, yada, yada. We need to be more actively engaged with you, the community, because you're the whole reason why we're making this game. I mean, I enjoy playing Smite myself, but so I'm partially doing it for myself, I guess, but mostly it's for the community, right? So Isaiah and I are going to be starting a new show. So 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think at 2 p.m. I don't remember what time now. I didn't write it down. I'm sure we'll tweet about it. But Isaiah and I are going to do a show about an hour long, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, specifically just to talk about like community issues, what we're seeing, except for 1 o'clock, says the person in my ear. To take feedback, to address your questions, to talk about major issues in the community, and also to bring on other devs and show and tell the things they're working on, right? So, we've said that we're working on a new Joust map, right? Like we might have our environment folks on just show off the current state of it and get your guys' thoughts on like, hey, are we on the right path, right? A lot of people want to know more about matchmaking. Like Max will be on one of the shows to talk about matchmaking. Ben, our art director, has said, dude, I'd love to be on a show and show off some of the models that we're working on for the upcoming gods, right? So we just want to be more active and more engaged with you because we're not doing a good enough job right now, right? Like I think back to the early days of Smite 1 Alpha when, when I was just a player, I didn't work here, right? And I would watch like Bart and Kelly, stream, and Erez would like walk into the room and, wreak havoc. Hopefully that won't be happening. But regardless, I think that there's something that we're missing about this kind of like very regularly connection with the players, just like reading Twitch chat and talking to people. So we're going to be doing that 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think you named the show Titan Talk. I don't know. We're still working on the name.
That was my pitch for it.
But yeah, so that's just part of us being better communicators. And hopefully you'll see us more communicative everywhere. And yeah, we're really excited about the future. Hopefully you guys are excited about it. Just to summarize things that I just talked about, we're going to be trying to ship 50 gods by January, which is twice what we have right now. We're focusing more on quality. We have more developers focused just on fixing the quality and not working on new features, including matchmaking and bugs and whatnot. We're going to be doing more regular updates. So we'll still be doing the major updates every 3 weeks with new gods and whatnot. But then between updates, we'll have very regular patches with balance and bug fixing. And last, we're going to be doing this not update show, this kind of just like sit and talk with the dev show 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with myself and Isaiah and guests who are more interesting than me. And that's enough of a preamble because we have a lot of exciting things to talk about before you can play CA3 in just a few minutes here.
Literally today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
No, that was very good. And yeah, no need to keep going on that. I think he said everything. There's a lot that's been going on. I think I usually don't like to do this, but I feel confident I speak for everybody here at the studio when I say that this week has weighed heavy on our minds and will continue to for a while. But if there's one thing that I know for sure that I still see every day and I still see talking to people in the hallway and everything, it's that we just effing love Smite. I had to stop myself. I almost said a bad word.
The one thing that like I can't help but think about, like obviously this should have been happening from the beginning. And he hit on the fact that they like kind of weren't taking advantage of the situation of like, being in an alpha. But I can't help but feel like Stu got a ton of shit yesterday and was just like, all right, guys, you guys can do whatever you want, fix it however you want. And just like took the reins off almost. Instead of like that's what it feels like, man. Because I just can't imagine all these devs didn't think about this weeks ago because we've talked to him about it. So that, I don't know. Like, this is good no matter what, but I can't help but think about that side of things because this is fast as shit. This is like overnight. It's been what, 2 days? And now everything is just like go like click, 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 like timeline change, fucking patches faster, different types of patches.
We love Smite so much. It is incredible. Like, and our primary goal is to just make Smite 2 the best thing that Smite has ever been, and we're going to do that with y'all, and it's going to be incredible. And we're starting right now. What's that?
I just looked at chat, and they said we should name the show Smite Tua, which is awful, and we aren't going to do that. But that just made me crack up. So very good.
Mods, put that person in the femur snapper, please. All right, so we have CA3 coming out today because we wanted to move faster, and that was the first step, was to just, who needs next Tuesday? Let's just do it today.
What is this, Tempo? Oh yeah, you're late. You're late.
So let's talk about some of what y'all can expect literally later today at the end of the show in CA3, starting with some Conquest. So we got AJ back there driving the computer. What's changing in Conquest, AJ?
All right, so first thing we've got in Conquest is
I don't
updated objective, the War
necessarily want to go over this, have them go over this for me. So
Horn.
let's
Warhorn
let's do this. I'll read this part and then skip to whatever gods they show or whatever at the end. So Warhorn is being replaced, I guess. Old Warhorn interactive objective has been removed. Instead, the Totem of Ku will spawn within the War Pit. Any of the pros in here, because I saw like Mike and a bunch of other people complaining about this. Is this actually like a bad thing? Like, I'm not hyping up bringing back something that's just, a port 1-to-1 from Smite. You're not a pro, Racy. But is this, like, I feel like this is much better than the Warhorn, right? They're doing scrims right now? Oh, okay. So I'll ask them at some other point. But to me, this just seems, at least for the time being, this is immensely better than the Warhorn. The Warhorn sucks. Capture the Totem of Ku, mana regeneration, movement speed. Allies start. Wait, so no gold. Nice. Okay, I like this even more. Totem of Ku responsive for 90 seconds. The Warren Pit grants an effect while the Totem of Ku is active. Gods within the pit take 20% less damage from gods outside of the pit. That's different. Jungle buff, infamy rewards have been updated to the following. Stack duration increases from 3 seconds to 6 seconds. Rank 2 no longer grants soul charges from getting minion kills assist. Now grants plus 5% bonus lifesteal upon reaching max stacks. Rank 4, the bonus lifesteal is increased to 10%. Okay. Which one's inspiration? Purple? That would make sense. Lifesteal for the ADCs. Okay. Base teleporters. You guys told me about this a little bit. Behind the Phoenix walls are new base teleporters that players can interact with to teleport to the furthest tower in that lane. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. There will be 3 teleporters total in each base. These teleporters cannot be used by the enemy team. Using a teleporter applies a 210-second cooldown. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I think the goal is no downtime. Like, you're not spending time running around the map doing nothing. But I feel like being able to get back to base right away, it's like the Jingwei effect. Like, I hate her passive. I kind of hate this. I mean, people will be able to get to fights a little faster. You'll be able to get to like the Gold Furies faster. I'm not sure that I like this. I haven't used it, so I don't have an opinion based on anything. But just at a concept, I think I don't like this. Upon using the teleporter, players will dematerialize and move along a path towards the furthest tower that isn't destroyed. Players can at any point press the cancel button to rematerialize and end their travel. Oh, so you don't have to go to the final tower. During travel, players are untargetable and cannot cast abilities, use items, or use basic attacks. When both towers are in the lane have been destroyed, the teleporter will also be destroyed. Fire minion adjustments. Fire minions now award twice the normal amount of gold. Minotaur reduced bonus damage versus structures from 250 to 125. Phoenix adjustment: when a Phoenix respawns, each member of that team gets 100 gold. What? What? You just get gold for defending, so you can like have a comeback chance, I guess, or a reward if split pushers don't take advantage of taking the Phoenix, I guess. That's a different way to look at things. Titan adjustments: when all Phoenixes are alive, the Titan gains 0.4% of its maximum health as regen. Ancient Fury. Ancient Fury's debuffs no longer applies to all structures. Ancient Fury will now try to choose to the frontmost structure in each lane when applying the debuff. So this is the super gold Fury, right? That makes it so the tower doesn't do any damage. Effect has been changed from all enemy structures are disabled for 120 seconds to the enemy's frontmost structures are weakened. Their damage is reduced by 25%, less damage, and attack speed by 50%. So it isn't free pushing anymore. Interesting. Remove the protections reward from Fire Giant. Good. The killing spree timer has been increased from 8 to 15, so you can get multi-kills. New accessibility feature: signposts. Players can turn on pathing assistance. Ugh. That just doesn't... I'm interested to see how that works. Arena we don't care about. New consumable multi-potion. Health potion adjustment. Adjusted healing on both of these from 20 HP per second for 10 seconds to 15 HP per second for 14 seconds. Increased total HP gain from 200 to 210, but takes longer to restore it. We'll see how that plays out. I think that might be the play, but we'll see. Mana potions are worthless right now. Item balance: CDR efficiency buff. All items with CDR will gain more CDR, lower cost, or better stats. Are they trying to have people like with crazy CDR? So Pendulum has more CDR, but more cost. I don't know. Okay. 5 more CDR, 50 more gold. Okay. Jotun's has holy shit. All right, Jotun's is meta now. A lot of people liked Jotun's. I think it was overvalued. Now it's definitely meta. Crusher got a buff. Crusher's already meta. Staff of Mirrodin got a buff. Chronos Pendant, I think, will go to being meta, by the way. I think Chronos Pendant is going to be insanely fucking good. World Stone got a buff. Scepter of Domination got 10 more cooldown. Bracer of the Abyss got 5 more cooldown. Lifebender got 5 more cooldown. The big thing here is like Totem of Death. This makes Totem of Death so much better on Kukulkan and Anubis. Cosmic Whore getting a buff is kind of crazy. Also, if you guys have subbed, I appreciate it. I'll go through and try to read them after I get to the notes. Glad Shield, increased CDR, decreased cost. Glad Shield doesn't really purchase much, so I bet you it starts being OP soon. Breastplate got 10 more cooldown, more protections, and reduced cost. Oh my head! Yo, because Breastplate's passive is pretty sick too. This has got to be OP. Spectral got more cooldown. Hide, Purification, Gem of Focus, Tekukagi did not receive increase. Thank God, bro. If they'd above these two, I'd have shit my pants. Good choice. Really, really good choice. Sundering Arc nerf. Change damage versus jungle monsters and bosses scaling formula to no longer increase sharply to 1k at level 10. The damage formula will now be 200 damage at level 1, plus 25 damage per level, reaching 500 damage at level 14, capping at 500 damage. Okay, so this is dead. Arc's dead. Based on this, you're not going Arc. They'll probably tweak this again, but with this change, I don't see why anyone would buy this. Other than for a level 1 invade. But then you have an active that's kind of worthless throughout the rest of the game. So I feel like that's dead. Kins got buffed back to 4%. Braggies got buffed. This is a huge buff to me. I think these items were so close to being good. I bet you crit is still better because crit is insanely overtuned, but these two are getting massive buffs because they're in the same build, so this build gets better. Frenzy cooldown to 30 seconds. Dagger of Frenzy is already really good. That's crazy. Tank nerve. Spirit Robe was way overtuned, so they took away some prots. Onis. Cost increased, protections lost. Eye of Providence, protections lost. Those are good. Meta nerfs, increased passive threshold. Oh, that's huge. Well, they gave this item 5 more cooldown, right? So this item didn't actually lose any cooldown. It stays the same. You just need way more in to proc the passive. So this item's still really, really good. Tekko Kagi got nerfed. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you guys though. I don't like the nerf on strength on these items. The movement speed should be taken off of these items. The only movement speed that should be in Smite should be speed buff and abilities. And like active, you know, heavenly and shit like that. But like, I don't like passive movement speed outside of speed buff and your god. I really don't like it. I think nerfing the power and other stats of this item is troll, and I think you should just take the movement speed off and give it another stat. Give it any other stat, bro. Any other stat at this point. I mean, we also just added teleports. Like, we don't need passive movement speed. Warrior's Axe got a buff. Sundering Axe, this is upgrade, got a buff. Sands of Time got a big buff. This is a big buff. This is huge. Shogun's Kasari lost or gained prots. Eye of the Storm, more HP, more prots. Decrease self-inflicted damage from 5%. Oh, okay. This is the item that does the sucking pulse in. It's too weak. They need to up the suck on it for this item to be valuable anyway. This is a smart change to 2.5%, but it doesn't do enough. It's not enough of a displace right now. It needs to be stronger. Pridwin got reduced by 250 gold. Brace of the Abyss, increase int, max stacks. So this is the item, if I'm not mistaken, that your in hands make you have more basic attack in hand. Like every time you land an auto, you get more basic attack in hand, up to 3 stacks, like 45 or something. So this would be an item that more than likely would pair into like a Kin's Braggies builds or Dagger of Frenzy build. Genji's, mana regen, decreased cost. So this is the item that gives 5% pen plus 20 flat pen at level 20. This item should be insanely good, but it's not. And the reason it's not is because
movement speed is
of
best
Devo
defense
gloves.
since positioning is key in Smite.
I'm not 100% sure what you're saying, Renning. All right, new gods. Do they show the new gods? They gotta show the new gods, right?
Trying to be a little.
They don't. Oh wait, I skipped items. My bad. Good save. I didn't even notice. I did skip. I didn't realize I jumped so far down. Yogi's necklace, more mana. Golden blade shift, increased damage 10, decreased scaling. So this item does damage based on your protections. Your in hands do more damage based on your protections. So it's better a little bit earlier, I guess, and a little worse late. Glad shield shift now builds from legionnaires, remove strength, added protections. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh yeah, bro. They reduced the cost of this item too. This is gonna be such a good fucking item. There's no way this isn't an insanely good item now. They took the hybrid off of it and made it regular Glad shield again. It's with 20 fucking. There's no way this shit isn't good. Soul Gem got a buff, thank God. Increased passive damage scaling by 10%, reduced cost by 200. This could be a lot better. Typhon's Fang shift. Increased cost, decreased lifesteal, added int. We now might have lifesteal mages be a possibility. I mean, the item having no power just made it so weird. And the problem was you have to have more than one lifesteal item for lifesteal to be relevant. You just do. So Soul Gem gets a buff. It's cheaper. It does a little bit more burst. So this is a little better. And then this is better. So going these two items isn't as shit because you don't lose out on so many stats. Now it has potential. Not saying it's good. It has potential. You said they didn't go show the changes? Surely they show the changes, right?
What's going on in the lane? So it's not a full.
That's
like,
the
window into the lane.
teleporter.
Was on show.
Going over items.
New protection scale.
Yeah, they show their gods, you trolls.
they want to see the jump.
So we've got Baron.
Is that his in combat jump? And there's his out of combat jump.
You know,
I know this is the one. This
that's
is
what
what
they
they
wanna
want to
see.
they
see.
wanted
Yep.
to spin.
This is what they
Still
want
there.
to see. Yes,
Yeah.
it does look good.
It's. I guess they're not getting in-game sound. I don't know if production can fix that while we're playing, but if not, sorry.
Oh, so Baron's Brew isn't a throwable.
The game is set to have.
So they
sound,
didn't
but
change
I'm not
anything with
getting
Baron's
it,
Brew.
I'm not sure
So
what
the
they
gods are the same.
Okay. All right, but it seems like it might be a computer issue, so we're sorry. But
Oh, wait,
we
Baron's
will
Brew
try
can
to
be
get that fixed
done?
for the next stream we do.
Yeah, we couldn't give it all.
Oh, you
to
throw
right
it?
now. We wanted some mystery for y'all to.
I wanna see
embrace
it.
this
Of course,
thing.
Baron's audio design is super fun though. So there's the detonating warm-up
So
area on the
cool
snake.
looking.
It's a
I keep
lot.
forgetting I don't have cooldown sheets on.
It's a lot easier to read what's going on with the 2 in combat than it is in Smite 1.
Yeah.
The other thing chat's asking for, I don't know if because you changed character, I
That
don't know if
all
Baron's
seems a
Brew is
little
in the shop,
more
but would it be possible
snappy.
to show like what it looks like to throw that.
Oh yeah, I did switch class cheat though. So
Oh, it's there.
it's there.
Hey, look.
Hey, how intuitive.
So we get to drink it, and now you'd see the icon change. and then you
What?
can
Throw
throw
it.
it.
What does it do?
That's so great.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
What does it
More
do when I
Baron,
throw
prettier
it?
Baron.
Yeah, and then even though you throw it, it refills when you go back to base.
Yeah.
So he's had some ability icons adjusted, card art adjusted. Full card art is in the game.
The ult pulls harder when they're affected by hysteria. Brew applies magical damage and
I think that's
applies
it.
Critical
hysteria.
effects update looks really nice.
I especially love like the heal.
Oh,
The
how-
heal-
hold on.
The healing.
Is
yeah,
it
like that little
scaling at all?
swirl,
Like,
it
does the
looks
Baron's
really
Brew
nice.
actually do
And I think,
damage?
For people,
Because
that have
everyone can
been
buy
here since
Baron's Brew on the
start of
team, right?
22, I think you can also see with this most recent set of gods, especially like how we're pushing the FX to still feel more like they still feel Smite 2y, but they're a lot more readable than some of the early effects that we were doing. You know, so I think we've kind of
It doesn't
found
say
the
the
right
damage
space, I
damage
think, for making
it
effects
does.
feel awesome, and the team's killing it. And also making it really readable.
A few more things people noticed is that the AO3 does deal damage to minions now on pass through. It's a relatively small amount, but it does. Do
Oh, the
damage.
3 does minion
One thing
damage.
I also wanted to call out is that we
Baron
saw
might be a
lot of
much better
feedback about
mage,
Baron in
being able to
discussion on
clear.
people saying that if there was a god to not change at all, this was the god, right?
Really?
People didn't want kit changes
He's
on
perfect.
this, so we didn't change
What?
him too heavily. You know, a
Who
lot of
the
the changes we
fuck
talked
loves
through were pretty
Baron?
exciting, but they're very
Because I don't
stat
see you guys in the
scaling,
queues ever
roll
at any
flexing
level
stuff. We
of
didn't really
play.
change any ability really heavily. That was very intentional because people were being so positive.
Nah, you guys
about
are in the
this kit.
casual queues. That's
it
why you
didn't
aren't in the
want to change.
Conquest queues. You sickos.
I also want to mention though that every god
Mm-hmm.
coming forward still will have like new features on on the god. and that is
Baron,
something we're
Baron's
looking
the
into.
assault and
Even
arena
at the
main's
accelerated
dream.
pace, all of those gods are still going to have new features added. to
Shut
them.
up, Bob.
Oh, and another thing worth mentioning, even though we're moving at a faster pace on the gods, because the ambassadors asked me this is the only reason why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
We will still be doing the ascension passes for all the gods as well at the time they release.
And we can
Nice.
show god is Yemoja production if you want to supports in.
Do you think this
Like,
update is going to
only
help
healing.
Smite to get more
All-
players to play?
Okay, so my direct connection to somebody that doesn't play Smite anymore, that's played it a lot and knows the game, is Mindy. Mindy doesn't touch Smite anymore. He was playing Smite 2 a bit. His biggest gripe right now is they swapped to UE5 and there's no exciting new items. There's no deadlock style items when that should have, UE5 allows them to do that. So why isn't it happening? So the way I look at it is I think right now they're focused on getting the game to a point where the people that like Smite want to play the game. That way they can go from where everyone wants to play the game to making it exciting and new and fresh from there, which I think some people won't like. A lot of the people that quit the game already, the dudes that swapped over to Deadlock, that's not something they would like, so they'll probably keep playing Deadlock. I think at this point it just makes sense because I feel like they have to get people to stop complaining first, then start with what is a Deadlock like item. You can reset your ultimate on like a 5-minute cooldown, so you can have 2 ultimates back to back. There's active items in the game where you can throw something at somebody and slow them, or like an anti-heal slow. Like there's just different shit. It's just more unique stuff. Like the board that they put in the game is the start to being unique on like the item potentials. I think that's just gonna be a later focus. I'm kind of fine with that. I don't think that's the end of the world. But also, you ask, are new people gonna play the game now? Probably not. I think they just got to get the game in a good spot. I think alphas aren't meant for new people to play the game in the first place. Personal opinion.
All of her attacks and abilities.
All of them.
All of them. Hitting an ally with Moonstrike replaces Omi healing with a new buff providing basic attack damage and attack speed. And allies inside of River's Rebuke gain both buff effects. So she's got a lot more buffing.
Oh, bro. This is crazy. Hold on. This is sick because this is what I've been pushing for support gods to be. I don't think support gods should be defensive buff bots. I think they should be offensive buff bots, or they should do their own damage while buffing. So I like this.
Both teams can buy Baron's Brew, even in ranked. It's fucking stupid.
It's a bug, bro. It's a bug, dude.
Kit, right? Using River's Rebuke provides half of missing Omi immediately. So in Smite 1, this was a faster regeneration, but now you just get it up front.
Yep.
Yeah.
During the regeneration, duration of this buff is decreased based on the amount instantly.
That's
restored.
different.
Oh, it's got both.
I was gonna say, okay,
You get a
so
bunch of-
the
you get
ult
half
does
of it
both.
immediately.
So
and
when
you
you
still have
ult on
regeneration buff.
Yemoja, you get
But
instant Omi back
depending on how
and
much
you
you
regen
restore,
faster.
If you'll get a weaker regeneration buff. This kit has a lot going on to it.
It does. She has a very
as
complex
well.
kit.
So let's look at a couple things, right? The bubble, I think the targeters
that is
and the
so
visual
cool.
effects
Yeah, they
are a
look good.
really big upgrade here.
Yo,
Like the
wait, that actually
liquid,
looks
the
so
water.
much
Look
cleaner.
at how splashy it
Oh,
looks.
dude,
the
those little,
little bubbles look way
particles
better.
that come off of the
Holy
center
fuck.
light strike. Like, oh my god, it looks so good.
Yeah, that actually usually looks a lot
Those
better.
look-
You can't even
yeah,
troll about
those
that
are
shit.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I'm gonna get hit by it
See
now.
the
I'll
water
need to make
orb is.
allies. The targeter clarity on this I really love.
Oh, that's
Arrow
nice, yeah.
shifting. I mean, we
Yeah.
have a lot of similar stuff in Smite 1, but this is a little bit more.
just
intense,
looks
which is
better.
Really nice.
Now my teammates in arena will
That's
know
smaller
even better
looking.
when they're going to troll me and kill me for getting back in base.
Yeah, this ability is crazy, right?
Wee.
Let's see. I would need to spawn allies to do the 2, but it's 2.
Oh, the
That's
2
all right, then
looks
we have-
The two looks
way
more like a
different.
wave than
Yeah,
it's
the
one, which
2
is
looks
nice.
way fucking different, bro.
And then we have the ultimate.
Looks kind of like Chungal.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's so
water
pleasing.
looks real nice.
Is the ult shorter?
man.
No,
The
no,
water
no, no,
effects are
no, no. It
gorgeous.
just comes out a little behind her.
So the semi-permeable wall, which is always some crazy fun tech to
I
work
think her
on.
ult's gonna be easier
I
to
mean, that'd be
position now in Smite 2 than
challenging to
Smite
work
1.
And you know, I don't want to overpromise anything, but for those of you that have played a lot of Smite 1, you know that Yemoja's mana bar just somehow manages to screw up your mana bars for like several games following, where like on the on your teammates, it's like for some reason everybody has Yemoja mana for this game.
That's weird.
So far we haven't been having that issue in Smite 2 because things are built better. So just hopefully we don't see that in live when we put this out. But I'm just it's another nice benefit of we have this god in Smite 2 now. And
Yeah,
just have the same
having built it fresh from the ground up with a knowledge of 10 years of work. So
Right, so we're working fast on a lot of gods in the background, but these are the 2 that we have for this update.
Oh, can you when you put the ring down, can we just look at both sides of it too? Just
This
yeah,
part?
yeah. Just so I think
it blows bubbles.
yeah, I think it looks more visibly different, like so you can see what side you're on a little bit better than.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And there's also like the ground targeter. I think also is a little bit more visible than in Smite 1. So
Yeah, it shows you which side you should funnel into and which side you will be shot out of.
yeah, our team in general, killing it. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But just really great work on
The
it.
clarity. And as always, looking forward to the future of skins for this god, because Yemoja's ult has always been really, really.
She's gonna have a bunch of bugs, I'm
take
assuming.
different
So
ones. Still
you're just gonna have to deal with them while they fix them.
There you go.
Assuming they're doing their faster patches.
Super
Should be
beautiful
pretty
work,
quick
and as always,
if,
big ups to
things
the
are actually
team
broke.
for getting all the tech for it. Because I'm gonna remember to say that it is exciting, and I'm gonna be playing Baron all.
Oh,
night
what the fuck?
anyway, we're on the-
Ho! Where was the god balance? Yo. Yo, god balance. Increase cooldown, so at lower ranks, it's longer cooldown for her ults. That's it? I feel like her 1 and 2 are on way too short cooldowns. Fixed an issue where this was providing more lifesteal than intended. Brutalize, decreased damage from 30 plus 35 to 25 to 30. That's a pretty big nerf. That's a decent nerf for early game. Which kind of sucks, because I'm just looking at names real quick. Yo. We genuinely have to have a conversation. Why is Susano not nerfed, guys? Like, I don't... Put me in a jungle practice with another jungle god and have us kill the same god at the same levels at the same time. Why is Susano not nerfed? Like, I don't understand. We nerfed Bacchus again, which is good. Why is Susano not nerfed? He's doing more damage than any other jungler by like miles and miles and miles. I don't understand. It's like not even close. I don't get it. Nuwa, another nerf. To Nuwa's pen. Okay. Decreased penetration from strength of Earth. Okay. Decreased minion explosion. Dang. Dude, she's been nerfed 3 times now. Holy shit. Or 4 times. Decrease int. Scaling on the int strength buffs. Decrease base damage on Gust. Nerf Bacchus. Scaling for protections. Decrease base damage per tick with Belch. Honors Enfeeble. Increase protection reduction from 10 to 20. Reduce max stacks from 2 to 1. Okay. Bologna's more base attack speed. Decrease damage or increase damage from the 3. Decrease cooldown on the 3. Preemptive strike. Scales off of your protections. Hitting an enemy slows them by 20% for 2 seconds. Applies on both hits. Now provides movement speed to the target. I think if you want to make Athena better, you reduce the cooldown on the 2 by like 2 to 4 seconds. Anubis, Anubis now gains 9 plus 1 per level magical and physical protections at all times. Anubis now gains 6% lifesteal at all times. These base effects now become more potent as Anubis gains stacks from losing HP up to 8 stacks. Protections are 2x at max stacks. The lifesteal is 4x at max stacks. 10 to 30 base, 20 to 60 max stacks. 6% base, 24% max stacks. Yo, what the fuck? Plague of Locust, decrease self slow from 35% at all ranks to 15% at level max? Yo! Increase damage from your 3, 5 at base per tick, up to 25 per tick. Alt, increase damage per tick from 23, 43 plus 18 to 27, 47 plus 22. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. This seems... All right, this just seems crazy when you pair... Like, this seems crazy without pairing it with the item buffs. But buffing Typhons and Soul Gem might be kind of chonky. Zeus, overcharge. Minions and jungle camps will now get 3 charges applied when they take any damage from Zeus that applies charges. Oh. So you can jungle clear faster on Zeus. Do they want Zeus to be a jungler? The Morrigan Deadly Aspects increased damage scaling from 75 int to 85% int. Dark Omen increased damage scaling from 40 to 50. Increased mark damage scale. Oh, they buffed the fuck out of the Morrigan. This seems minor, but this is really big for late game Morrigan. Like crazy. I'm genuinely confused. There's no Thanatos buff, and I feel like Thanatos' 1 is one of the worst damaging abilities in the game. And then there's no Susano nerfs, when I feel like Susano is a clear standout for the strongest jungler, one of the top 2 to 3 gods in the game status. Read the first quality of life change. Oh, down here. This updated damage numbers, animation, and style will be more like Smite 1. Pause accessible via there's a pause button now. This is big. Wait, where is quality of life? Where the fuck is quality of life, bro? Like, there's bug fixes, and there's general gameplay. God balance. New God. What the fuck are you talking about? All right, bug fixes is not quality of life. Oh, you mean the quality of life under bug? Okay. Ah! Ah! Oh shit! We're back! That's all I needed in life, bro. I didn't think they were gonna be able to fix this. I don't even think I brought it up yet. I might have today. But I don't think I brought it up directly to them because I didn't think it was something they could fix. I just figured it was UE5 and just something they weren't going to be able to do. So this is sick. Add a new server correction. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. I don't even want to know. Fix issues where targeters were lagging behind a frame. Put in better safety fixes to prevent perma-bug states. Made minion clear. I'm interested in this though. Updated damage numbers. I was looking at this last night, and I really don't like this, like the way Smite 2 numbers look compared to Smite 1. They were like doing too much. And to match lobby stats, accolades, mastery badges, added a grid for consumables. Players no longer updates in real time on the scoreboard. Player levels no longer update. Oh, nice. T screens, more updates. Custom games with the option for Conquest pick bans. Art updates. Item icons change. Ooh. Oh, they fixed a bunch of bugs. Let's go. I like it. Nice. There's a lot of stuff that didn't change, but there's a lot that did. Nice. Did I miss anything else? Yeah, there's post-game stats. T-screen's supposed to be working better.
All right, I'm gonna go. Smite 1. That's not. They're very similar.
Nice.
Which is for such a supportive, the wave.
Very short. Welcome to the battleground of the gods. You know, in Conquest in the early days. Amaterasu is a broad roles characters are good at in another iteration. You know, so I like. Hopefully, this helps like clarify the early game for new players.
You could also like clip inside of
It
them.
looked like they tried to do a lot of new player quality of life shit.
Slow, so it's gonna hit a little.
But I'm gonna be honest. I
kill
think matchmaking
while
is the
the
biggest
transforming,
thing
the
they
kill
need to
would
do for
count
new
as an
players.
Assist.
That's really funny.
Through next spear.
Reading all that.
Yeah.
End of match lobby.
We're probably
could go
playing the game at this
forever.
point. And
Me and
All
Alex
right.
sitting with Haley.
I feel like
That's
I feel
a
like the
really good
Reddit
patch.
is just going to be overwhelmed.
Genuinely, way more than I thought it was gonna be. The fact that they shared a little bit of the timeline that they're aiming for now with you guys is dope. Because I also wasn't sure that was gonna happen. I mean, they prove they're gonna do faster patches because they dropped this patch without doing a fucking PTS, which was a very smart choice because that PTS shit was just made no sense to me at all. So Baron's in the game and Yemoja's in the game already. Anubis buffs are in the game. Interesting. I like it. I like it a lot.